What is the purpose in self-defense of quickly finding a mutual acquaintance with a stranger and then talking about what that mutual would think of the situation? It is so that you can shame somebody into compliance, and that is as mean as it sounds. I'll say more about that at the end of this video, but everybody had some great answers to the last video. Go back and scroll those comments if you haven't. And yes, when I'm having self-defense students simultaneously grapple with a person in front of them while also asking questions of the instructors across the room, it's so that people can practice splitting their focus between like a one-on-one altercation while also managing bystanders and allies who are at a distance. The next LGBT self-defense class is coming up on Sunday, November 3rd at Unicorn Jiu Jitsu in Portland. The instruction is at 2 p.m. That's followed by a 3 p.m. LGBT open mat, and you don't have to come to the class in order to come to the open mat. This month I want to keep looking into this idea of splitting focus, but also getting us back into team techniques. So I'd like to try out a new team game that will involve throwing some Nerf balls around the room. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't, but I would love your help sorting out the kinks, and if it goes well, we can publish the rules for other training groups to look at. But back to this idea of discovering a mutual acquaintance when you're in a self-defense altercation. It's about making the bully want to de-escalate, which is more powerful than if you're just trying to force them to de-escalate, which doesn't even work, right? And you may be familiar with the idea of like bluffing that you have a contagious disease in order to get someone to back off of you, but that really relies on the bully's ick factor, if they have one. Also, whether or not they even believe you, or maybe they've already had that disease. It's a very unreliable tactic, but we can take that idea up a notch by triggering their shame response instead, which is oddly a much more powerful fear than our fear of physical consequences. And to be clear, this is not their fear of being shamed by you, because they clearly don't care about you, but instead using someone that they do care about. And this is saying stuff like, I don't think mom would like what we're doing, or, teacher hates it when you do this sort of shit. But if the bully is a total stranger, which is less common, but it's not impossible, then you have to quickly find somebody that you do have in common, that you can reference, hence trying to converse your way into discovering a mutual acquaintance while you're already engaged with somebody. And sometimes you can get a freebie based on something that they're wearing, like a band t-shirt or a college bumper sticker, but if not, my approach is to spitball location histories. Just saying where I've been, asking them where they came from. And it's gold if you can discover that both of your kids go to the same school, but if that's not the case, you can also try to discover familiar neighbors or services that you both use, and then point out that you've obviously both interacted with the same person, even if just marginally, like a front desk clerk. And then start saying that that clerk would be sad to see them acting this way. Just try to push into their shame response in order to derail their aggression response. And then help them choose to de-escalate by also de-escalating yourself, obviously, so that you don't re-trigger them. I hope this explanation helps. Ask me questions about that.